It's time for me to say goodbye to one of my favorite cameras. It's weird to do this. It's honestly weird to even look at it on the tripod there. I grew up with this camera. I bought it in 2017 for $400 with a lens. It was one of the first 4K cameras that could just record forever because it was mirrorless instead of a DSLR. And I loved it. I bought it for skateboard stuff initially and eventually ended up plugging it into my computer and using it over a capture card. All of the calls I did during COVID, all of the time I spent streaming and playing around for 5 years, and my first entire year of YouTube were shot on this $400 camera. It is still mind-boggling just how much value I have gotten out of this device. This Panasonic Lumix G7, it carried me. I would not be here if it wasn't for this camera. It was so accessible to get started, and the quality that you're seeing here is insane. I'll stitch some clips in of cameras that literally cost 10 times more money so you can understand just how crazy this was, especially in 2017. But I don't think it's been topped. I didn't configure anything when I set this camera up right now. I literally just put on the lens, put it on the stand, and hit go. And it worked. The batteries were all dead. I charged them. It's fine now. Hey, bud, take your collar off so you don't dox me. It's such a good camera. And because I now have upgraded multiple times, I don't have a use for it anymore. I have too many other great cameras, and I have a friend who needs to take things seriously now. And honestly, I still think this is the best camera to get started with. It's insane that nobody's properly competed with it, that there isn't a good camera that can record for long sessions at this quality at roughly this price. And obviously I'm using a $400 lens on my $400 camera. Huge shout out to Sigma, the 16mm. It just looks great. It's that simple. It's crazy how after 7 years, nothing is quite as easy as this guy is to get started on and shoot. You can't really control it from a phone or a computer. Sadly, it was before the Bluetooth era of cameras, but that's fine. Still easy to operate. It still does what I need it to. The color looks good. The image is crisp as hell. It's a great camera. And the fact that you can get this for $400 and there is no camera under $1,500 that is much better, it's absurd. It's actually absurd. And I don't even know why I'm making this beyond saying goodbye to this camera that I've loved dearly, but I owe it. Without this Lumix, I would not be the creator I am today. And the cheap price point made this chaotic world accessible to me. And it's sad that the recommendations I see now are all $2,000 Sonys that will overheat after 2 hours. When I got started on a $400 Lumix, you don't need to spend all that money to get started. I just wish the camera manufacturers would embrace that too. There should be better options under $1,000, and it's insulting that there aren't. Even Panasonic themselves have moved out of this range into the $2,000+ range, and I love my S5 IIX. It's the upgrade that's allowing me to sell this camera, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to miss it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to fondly remember my history with the G7 and all of what it enabled for me. This camera's phenomenal, and I really hope it'll be in good hands. This is my goodbye to my Lumix G7. Thank you, Panasonic. We appreciate you.